Hello, this is Von Fry, YouTube's most scorned movie critic. Today I'm watching from 1995 Mortal Kombat. If you'd like to queue up this commentary track for your viewing of the film on Netflix, please go to 0000 and hit play now. Mortal Kombat. It's always great when you're starting a movie off with captions that have an exclamation point. No sarcasm. New Line Cinema. Don't see that production logo much these days. Is that a defunct brand? You know what? I think that this is a top three best comic. Or sorry, we're not doing comic books here. I did have a Mortal Kombat comic book in like I don't know 94 or something. Maybe it was 95. I don't think it got very far. Pretty realistically sized CGI here. Something of a CGI pioneer, this film. Um, you know what? The beginning of this movie, now that I think about it, it's not that unlike Annihilation. We have the composited out clouds, and that's doing that thing. We have a canted angle here. Unfortunately, with that movie, they just went all in with the first minute of this movie. And it's quite shocking because that film had a considerably larger budget and looked like straight shite. This movie, fairly low budget, had the most special effects shots of any movie up to its point, and for a period of time had the longest credits. Because Paul W.S. Anderson employs a lot of people. Oh, yeah, I love this part. Your soul is mine. He says it almost like a question. And you're kind of wondering, who's he talking to? Threat to the audience here? See, if you want to composite those people out, you're going to have a much better time finding a line with them under almost in the silhouette of that building, rather than trying to get with their hair and their clothes, as they found out in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I love the poured concrete elements here. I probably am going to say quite a bit about the production design of this film. I am friends with a guy who designed the Goro costume. That's the team from Amalgamated Design. This soundtrack also totally just awesome. I'm doing a terrible job with the commentary, I know. We have KMFDM. Who else? What You See, We All Bleed Red. Just kind of a thrash metal vibe. We also have a sort of electronic. Oh shoot, what was it? God, why? I should have looked up some shit before I started talking about this. This guy here, he's the villain in Kano kind of becomes Australian because of this guy's performance. But he died not too long after this movie. I think about 99, about 4 years later. He was on Jag. He was the villain in Dolph Lundgren's Men of War. It's kind of unfortunate we didn't get more out of him. He was also in some like vacuum cleaner commercial I've seen around. Kano had quite the receding hairline in the 1992 arcade game. The stunt capture for that. Would you call it motion capture? I guess they are capturing the motion. It's not to trace out any design there. I would also have to question Sonya Blade's tactics here. Hey, let's get our shotguns out, run through the mosh pit, and beat everybody. Oh yeah, they draw blood in this movie. Kind of. I think your biggest criticism for this film is going to be that at PG-13 it's the antithesis of what the arcade game was most known for. Incredible violence. over the top fatalities, all that stuff that got the bad PR from Lieberman. You know, we got to get the ratings on the games, that kind of stuff. That's what the games were known for, more so than quality gameplay. And yet this went all in with the story dynamics. One of the better movies about martial arts tournaments also would say Bloodsport, and of course, uh, Enter the Dragon. Can't really think of any other that are good. Yeah. What was that one with Eric Roberts that I think it really got clowned on, but I thought it was okay? I actually had a couple. Another one had like a deathmatch thing more like this. I think that was the sequel. Uh, right, we've got, is it Linden Ashby? Is that his name? I saw him on YouTube about a year ago playing the Mortal Kombat arcade game to see if he was any good at it, and it was him and was it Robin Shao? Is it Shao or Show? We used to say Shao back in the 90s, and no one was there to question us. We couldn't look it up on YouTube, and not a lot of people are interviewing him. I think this was kind of a hit movie. I think it opened at number one October-ish, 95. This was coming out at a time when I was in 5th grade, and I was traveling through Colorado, and boy, my friends and I were really into Mortal Kombat at the time of this. There's a guy who's obviously a stand-in for Steven Spielberg here. I was so pumped to play Mortal Kombat 3, played it a little bit, and then just kind of didn't get back into it, and that was really it for me and the franchise. Haven't played but a couple seconds of 4, and that was it, honestly. Johnny Cage here. We got some interesting stuff going on. First of all, that last name Cage makes you think maybe it's derived from Nicolas Cage. He's a movie star, okay? Nicolas Cage, persona in a way. That makes sense. Johnny Cage, a fake. Oh my gosh. Well, with that kind of pose, one would say. But yeah, Linden Ashby, I think he was on Silk Stockings. Really, not a lot else you would know him from, but he's the heart of this movie. He has the funny lines. And besides the comic relief, if you think about it, he actually wins the Mortal Kombat tournament. So, is he the ultimate hero? Eh. Win the tournament, win the respect. How do you win a tournament that's not televised and be able to prove it to anybody? It's like you're Frank Dukes, you're coming back from the Kumite, and you're, oh, hey, yeah, I went to the Kumite, and I got this trophy. I'm back. Oh, we have the Mortal Kombat logo with the dragon. Oh, no, not a bad transition there. Of course, nowadays that'd just be so non-thought. Oh yeah, that happens. It's CGI. Oh, what did that? I should have read that. What did it say? Temple somewhere in China. Robin Shao probably doesn't look that much like Liu Kang. I don't think Liu Kang was particularly popular as far as the games go. It was, generic Bruce Lee guy. Oh, were these guys all waiting for him, and that's why they're sitting here like this? You've returned, but you're not wearing your clothes that we all agreed upon. Alright, I'm gonna go fight in the tournament. That's the way it's gonna be. Don't you miss actually going to locations in movies? You left for America. We all studied up on English. Somebody's got to represent Earthrealm in this combat. I'm surprised that you have the stakes are control the Earthrealm, right? Why don't the Emperor just load up the tournament with a bunch of fighters from I forgot whatever the hell the other realm is. His realm. Increases odds. Oh, I hate the concept of the chosen one. Storyline in this, it does what it can for the source material, which kind of fairly lazy in of itself. Ah, this guy appears a, a kind of European-looking Chinese god type. Some unusual casting here, Christopher Lambert, and yes, I'll be going with the Lambert designation for this commentary track. It hadn't really occurred to me that Raiden stays out of the fight because he's in the fight from the beginning of the games. It would seem he would be a most OP guy. You have a lightning god versus regular humans. I mean, it was some kind of special ops chick. Uh, this guy, pretty much unemployed monk. And a movie star. Yeah, okay, that sounds fair. Too much television. Not an all bad attempt at humor there. This is a pretty darn good movie. As far as it, well, I would say in a lot of ways, but it looks so good. When movies were cheaper like this, but they still had some kind of budget to it. You don't have big stars in this movie. You have a property that's pretty popular without a star to put on the poster. The poster for this movie is the logo set in stone. Everywhere. I haven't seen another poster for this. Robin Shaw is Luke none of that. Pete Sampras's future wife. The blonde girl from Last Action Hero. But there is no one else. It's almost like But There Is Another in The Empire Strikes Back. Let's get our handful of people for our leaky boat. I've been following Kano everywhere. Oh, we've got designer luggage. Bit of a running gag here with him and his luggage. It's Louis Vuitton stuff. That's not cheap. I don't see the point of having super expensive luggage because it's like your luggage is more expensive than the stuff inside of it. Therefore, I don't know, you bang up your luggage. I mean, I've seen some of these baggage handlers really toss stuff around. Poor Art. Did they ever incorporate him into the games? Don't ask that question. Or don't answer that. Oh, hey, you look like you're here to grab luggage. I pay money, you carry the bags. Or is that too complicated? This is a major douche move right here. Me and him would not be friends going forward. Thank God I didn't ask him to park the car. It's not over the top attempts at humor. It's hard for Hollywood to be grounded with jokes these days. We have Jax there on the left. I believe that actor passed away. I don't know of what, but he was not available to reprise his role for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Probably for the better, because that movie is so very bad, and a lot of part of why I wanted to do a commentary track for this is so that I could then do a commentary track for Annihilation, which miraculously isn't streaming right now, probably for the better as well. Take a look at the way fashion's kind of changed here since 95. We've a baggier sort of suit than I think we would find on Johnny Cage now. I wonder if Amalgamated Design had done their work on the Kano mask as well, because I know that they did all of the Goro stuff. And unfortunately, as good as that the animatronics for Goro is, a lot of it gets kind of outshined by the CGI in the movie, and not in a good way. It's because people want to come back at this movie. Look how bad early CGI was. First of all, you want to say early CGI? Go look at Young Sherlock Holmes. Look at movies from the 80s that have CGI, and then come talk to me. This is not early CGI. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people will say too. Everybody wants to put all of the pressure for the effects in this movie on Reptile and maybe Scorpion's harpoon, which they do have some like wonky shots I could touch up better. And with my limited prowess and no 3D modeling program, she is so overly tactical here. It kind of would have been better if she had gotten some kind of weapons training for the movie. Kind of hopping around all over the place, keeps her finger on the trigger inappropriately. Bridget Wilson, also quite young. Maybe one would have envisioned Sonya Blade to be maybe a little post 30. She is all sass throughout the movie. It would be an obnoxious feminist agenda type character today. The costumes are really awesome in this movie. These look like ninjas to me. I think that they got away from the ninja look too much in the games. Gave Scorpion a hoodie for a time. And now he's kind of come back. Move aside. That's a pretty sweet ice effect if you ask me. And there we go. Yeah, see, the complaints with the Scorpion harpoon. It doesn't match his hand correctly. It fidgets a little. And we have the CGI lightning of the day. I could see that looking a lot worse today, honestly. I do like Shang Tsung's jacket. That's pretty sweet. The actor, Carrie, can't pronounce her last name, has reprised his role as Shang Tsung in the latest Mortal Kombat installment, Mortal Kombat 11, and he can play as a version that's kind of like him in the movie. From what I've seen of it, they went over the top with the humor in the games. The games, it started off serious, but there was maybe an unintentionally comedic large amount of blood because given the way games were back then, the restraints on resolution and the way pixels performed, you needed to have supersized blood or there wouldn't be any noticeable blood. And then it just became outlandish, and now it's some kind of weird show off of fatalities, that over the top BS, X-ray shots of kidneys getting busted, whatever. Clearly not actually out to sea here. Most certainly on a soundstage. They made this on the Pinewood Studios soundstage, England. It was largest soundstage in the world at its time, possibly still. I think there was a fire at some point. Was it caused by this movie or what? I don't recall, but we're going to be seeing a lot of that in Scorpion's Lair. Raiden, given the dire circumstances, does get a little jokey. New world to conquer and enslave. A new one. How did the realm thing work? It's not like he's just coming from another planet. The realm of Earth. The Emperor's demon sorcerer. Oh, I'm not just a sorcerer, I'm a demon sorcerer. Does that mean I sorcerer demons? Or I'm a demon and I do some sorcery? They've won 9 tournaments. This will be the 10th. What is it? I'm trying to remember, every 100 years or 1,000? What was it? Handful of people in Lake are going to save the world. Exactly. They use that in a sort of technoed up splicing of the film for the soundtrack. I've looked into their souls, and you're the only ones worth talking to. You'll decide the outcome of the tournament. That doesn't necessarily mean one of you three will win. Ha ha ha. Sorry. That's a kind of line I think we could see today. A little self-referential awareness in the comedy. This movie's quite striking with its lighting. Look at, we have this divide: blue on one side, red on the other. Liu Kang wakes up, entirely green room, as no one lights their room when they're sleeping. Now we got some more animations, and we got the fog machine really working overtime. Has it? How far away is he on the boat, standing next to them? You can see that there is an issue with the CGI in the way that the resolution at which it's rendered looks lower than what should be for film at times. That kind of like demon stuff there. This stuff looks pretty decent. Those matte painting, composite shot type stuff. A lot of those sort of things they've really worked out how to do best by the mid 90s. Could we not have parked the boat closer to the island? Could we not have gotten some cars, trucks, jeeps, ATVs, something? Oh, come on. Ow. He said ow. It says oh on the captions. Electrical disturbance blew everything. Look at your compass. They're on an island on Earth. Why is it doing this stuff? Man, there are a lot of people in this tournament. More than I recalled. And we don't get to see most of them fight. Bloodsport, you see a bigger sampling of the fights. And I don't think there's that many sanctioned fights in this movie. Seems like somebody will go off, do their own thing, and oh, now you're fighting this guy. We're talking massive amount of stairs. Okay, feasibly, how do you get people together to make stairs like this and then put like a castle at the top? Like, how do you work that out without modern machinery? We have entered Fraggle Rock. Because one of these statues, they throw Reptile into it, and then he like is it him possessing the statue form or what? It's kind of hard to make out the way the movie portrays it, but you might think that each of those statues is a being that's been frozen in some way. When it looks like that, usually means something. Talicia Soto, Benjamin Bratt's current wife, I think. Am I mistaken? I think so. Not bad on the eyes. Princess Katana. She's the most dangerous adversary. Who are you talking to? Oh, yeah. This guy. I know. Not incredibly realistic. The textures are on the weaker side. You watch the original Toy Story, or even Toy Story 2, for that matter, and you will see similar effects where, oh wow, that's all we could do with the polygons. That that was our limit. It continues to blow my mind that we live in a time now where video games are more advanced than Toy Story, because when Toy Story comes out, it's like, wow, what if video games could be like that? Well, we got it, and now nobody's impressed. People do game reviews with forgetting to cite graphics. Art looking a lot like Dave Chappelle. Someone want to explain to me how that door works? You're going to be seeing a lot of these shirtless guys who have covered their faces. As a demon sorcerer, he is able to manipulate Sub-Zero and Scorpion to not be killing each other. Here to compete in Mortal Kombat. So does he also have each of these guards under a spell, making them willful volunteers to fight Sub-Zero and lose as a demonstration? And when the guy loses his head, it's also somewhat wonky, not the best resolution type thing. I'll have to see that when it comes. Now for a taste of things come bum 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 bum. Doom 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 doom. Yep. Everybody, you're done eating. We are clearing the room, flipping the tables. Pillows out of the way. If I'm not mistaken, the guy who plays Sub-Zero was a trainer for WWE, WWF at the time, was like a doctor with them. Oh yeah, I want to show off my little bit of moves here. Got some quick little kicks. Yep. Some flexibility stuff. Yep. Okay. Yep. Here's what you're getting into, Sub-Zero. What do you got? You think you can handle those kicks? I'm gonna keep doing this, and you channel that ice ball. Man, he got a running start with that flying kick, didn't he? Probably would have landed short. Flawless victory. I guess so. He didn't get any hits in on Sub-Zero. Makes sense. Say a few lines from the game, appease the fans in that regard. It does a good job of touching on the things that maybe you recall from the game. Some of the stuff you like. That's a gory enough death right there, but still we don't see a lot of the way of the finishing moves. I guess Goro's death is reminiscent of the pit, particularly in Mortal Kombat 2, where it gives a bird's eye view. It's not your mind that you're in. And that's true. Hey. You know, I wouldn't have gotten along with the guy, but the lightning god said that one of the three of us has to save the world, so may as well be friends. A little bit of a tease of Goro right there. That's a good way to introduce him, honestly. Remember, her quest is finding Kano, not necessarily saving Earth Realm. I don't need your help. I can take care of myself. That's her. God. J.J. Abrams must have really liked the way women were portrayed in this movie. constantly reminding you that they don't need your help. Again, not always the best CGI shots here, but certainly there are worse. And look no further than Mortal Kombat Annihilation for the worst of everything. You go ahead. Find out what that was. Lou and I will wait right here. I need to not be re-quoting Johnny Cage throughout this, but why not? And now we're going to see Goro. I always feel like when people are eavesdropping in movies, I would have noticed. I mean, you got people off to the side talking a bit. I would have surely picked up on it. I think Kano's eye, that whole side of his face would be CGI today, by the way. They wouldn't risk actually having a makeup appliance. The eye would be moving around. It would do things. It wouldn't just simply be a lens, a static lens in this way. Look at this most impressive Goro. Inside the suit is forgot his name. He something Junior. He mentioned him a lot on Cinemassacre. So the stunt performer in the suit there. He's 6'2". He plays aliens on occasion and some of the newer alien AVPs, I think. But he occupies the lower two arms. The upper two arms and the head are animatronics. In a synchronized ballet with his performance. In order to pull this off, you have to go strictly by the book to keep up the movements. There's no chance to improv this. I feel like you could get longer shots out of Goro. There are a few points here where he talks and it seems like his mouth isn't quite keeping up with the speech, but if you make a big lumbering character, you make him talk slow, you can pull this sort of thing off. Of course, all CGI today. No question about it. I don't know why Earth is a realm. I was always told Earth was a planet. Revolves around the sun. How much food did Kano really need? He still has a whole turkey. Your job, international criminal, is to lure Sonya Blade here. For reasons. Kung Lao, mentioned here. Yep. How tall is Goro? Is 8, 9 feet? Like, it weighs up there. The Emperor's adopted daughter? Why should I worry about her? Oh, yeah, let's, when I mention somebody, you kind of give a little bit of a dossier on him. Not just Liu Kang, Kung Lao's descendant. I don't know. You mean you didn't hear the story of Kung Lao? I think Kung Lao is actually mentioned in the original game's instruction manual when it got released in '93. Was he the last Earth winner or something? Something like that, or maybe he was killed in the last Mortal Kombat by Goro. I can't recall how many of these Mortal Kombat Goros won, but I guess it has to be a team victory for 10 in a row to open up the realms. And then at the end of this movie, it seems like the Emperor just kind of says, "Screw it, I'm coming in anyway. All right, we'll fight you." And at the time, you weren't thinking, "Oh, well, that's stupid." It's like, "Oh, hey, cool, the Emperor's there. Yay, a promise of more movie. All right, cool." That was before every movie had a trailer tease at the end. Or, sorry, a sequel bait ending. That was not necessarily commonplace. I hope we can see a little bit of Predator effect right there. Something's in the way. Reach out and grab it. Ah, there we go. Yeah, Reptile spits acid. I guess it's not terribly potent in this movie. I think it's following Princess Katana. Where is she? I don't know. Did that need to be dialogue? I know exactly where we're going. Katana went this way. Smell her perfume, right? Yeah, I smell something. We went in a circle. Oh no, it's the guards. Yeah, let's just shout out the theme here and we get ourselves a little techno fight. I don't think we could ever go back to doing martial arts in movies, especially with non martial arts experts. Jackie Chan brings something to the table and he requires the most out of everybody working with him. Robin Shaw can do stuff. The other two, not so much. Bridget Wilson, really quite stiff in places. At least she can get a leg up to kick. You can see Robin Shaw does. He does some cool things, but is it that impressive to do like a little cartwheel type thing over the little statue on the steps and then kind of pose for a sec? Piece of cake, huh? It was easy for me. What is it with you guys? We're standing, they're not. Also, I suppose this needs to be another one of those videos on YouTube that mentions how inspiration for Johnny Cage derived from Van Damme and his role in Bloodsport. You don't see it in this movie. You don't see him in the bike shorts going into combat. This movie probably could have done better with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You have a big name in it. It would have made more sense. It would have been a different movie. Look at the way Jean-Claude Van Damme is in Street Fighter and how Street Fighter becomes the story of Guile instead of Ryu or Ken. It's Guile and Bison, and you never have that conflict in Street Fighter. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But I would suppose after that bombs a terrible reviews and everything for the Street Fighter film, it doesn't make sense to have Jean-Claude Van Damme then do Mortal Kombat. Nowadays, and also it would have seemed weird in the 90s for a guy to be jumping through franchises like that. Now we have what Brand from the Goonies playing a role in every comic book movie. He's played like no less than 80,000 comic book characters. Shit, he's probably the villain in the Batman, and we just don't even know it yet. Remember Thunder? Something. Tomorrow the tournament begins. So we're told. We get a lot of shots of those statues. Uh, More than I recalled, honestly. Alright, we've assembled for our fight. We got peacock feathers over here, a throne, kind of, best seat in the house. You will be first. Does he say who he's fighting against? Not much introduction for you. It's kind of like in wrestling how the jobber's already standing out there. You watch the 80s clips from WWF, the jobber's already out there, and then you get introduction from the announcer that Hulk Hogan, whoever the hell's coming in, right? This guy comes out with a demonic smile. Look at the efforts to cheer with the fist pumping. See, a little bit of grain got into the gate wasn't cleaned. I can see some shots here. These shots, those two shots, the mediums. On the far right of the screen, there's something trapped in the gate, and it's messed it up. Not every shot's like that. It might pop back to it. These fights are so forgettable because it's not over the top enough. I think we've gone to the point where we're expecting full CGI, buildings exploding, worlds blowing up in every movie. And you can't get that in every movie. And so we don't have every movie coming out being a big hit. There's no place else to go with stuff. I don't think you could have a fight sequence in one location in a movie now where people are they started in the sand and they're still in the sand. Are you kidding me? No, you have to go chase him up a building. Oh, come on. Did he really beat him up that bad? He's not even bruised. Your soul is mine. No, I steal the soul from your abs. Yeah, we don't have a fatality, but we say it, and he turns blue. You know, whenever your soul leaves, it totally turns you blue. Did you guys know that? Yeah, just doing a little light punching warm-up right there. Yep, that's very impressive, Bridget. Just what you wanted, a fight with Kano. Last time I saw this guy carry whatever, he was like a mentor season 1 of Revenge on ABC. Shows up in Alexis LFA. Talks about how he trained some rich gal into, I don't know, learning some fighting or something, whatever, being a revenge specialist. Dude, tell you what, given the stakes, yeah, I'm international criminal Kano here. I am doing something to Sonya Blade's shirt at the risk of any kind of censorship from YouTube. I'm just saying, given the stakes here. You know, the game would be knocking her clothes off, right? And that would throw her off her fighting game for sure. He gets to start the fight with a knife. Come on. We will also see her attempt to do her. Did they call it the scissor kick in the game? There was a name for it where it was a scissor leg toss. This is KMFDM Juke Joint Jezebel playing. It's a different version. I think this is the uh, Marauder mix that plays, or they call it the Metropolis mix. Different version than what we got in Bad Boys. Same year, same song, essentially. Oh, kick to the stomach. Oh, it's in slow motion, so it really hurt. She'll do the leg throw, but it appears as though it's done in reverse. If you caught that quickly, she has him in the hold and then comes down, and they play it in reverse. Give me a break. Okay. Off. Crunch, but it's a crunch neck snap, but the snap doesn't occur on camera. PG-13. I think this is a cherry blossom forest that we are going through. Without the cherry blossoms, probably would have been more photogenic to have trees with leaves. Scorpion with the glazed over eye thing. All right, the wonky part of that harpoon is the transition out of this right here. Not that bad. I can do with it. The transition from the hand. The hand doesn't open up right. There's a wave effect, like it's liquid, like his hand. The palm becomes liquid. When the harpoon dies, it hits the tree. Oh yeah, that right there, the tree rubbing, that was pretty bad. You could see that is not how a tree's bark rubs off like it had dandruff. Get over here. That second shot. Well, it hits the tree, not that bad, and then Liu Kang or Johnny Cage's reaction. We have the shadow kick, also teleports him from. Along with, is that what we're doing here? Oh, look at that crash zoom in on a skeleton. Ooh. Yep, a lot of hectic scaffolding. That's what we got here, guys. And there he is. And see, this is one of the better fights in the movie because we had two interesting locations. How come they don't have spectators whereas everybody else does? And if anybody wants spectators, it's going to be Johnny Cage. I also have to wonder if we can do martial arts with stand-up style combat in film successfully now, with everybody being so engrossed with UFC. Ground and pound is not going to translate well to movies. Do you want a fight scene that is 3 minutes of guys rolling on the ground and trying to hold a submission? Because that's what we would actually have. They try to take some of these more washed up, retire UFC guys. They try to put them in some action movie, and it doesn't come out being their style of fight. Scorpion there, he did that backflip move, and it had that bird's eye shot. You're thinking, okay, they did something like that in The Matrix. Okay. But there was a Jackie Chan movie. Was it Dragons Forever? Where Bao Lo... So, shit, forget his name. One of his main buddies does a kick like that first. I think it was probably about like 86. Could one say this is the pit where he has landed? There's bones down here. Not necessarily spikes. Oh yeah, that's a bit wonky there. See, part of the issue with that reveal is that he takes the mask off and the skull is huge. It's a huge wearing a skull on a guy, not an appropriate size, because your skull's not going to be bigger than your head, like bigger than your face. The area in which you don't have a nose can't be out past where your nose is to put it on. That's why you can't wear skeletons correctly. Runs, dives away like Predator. And we're going to have an autograph to my greatest fan, Johnny Cage. Where did that come from? Does he carry around colored, what is that, like 4x6? 5x7? It doesn't make any sense. But in the terms of the game, it kind of feels like a fatality, doesn't it? Like it gives you the little screen. You should also note that Liu Kang is shirtless for a good deal of this movie. Always has a shirt on in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. What does Liu Kang wear in the movies? Or, well, in the games? Not a shirt. Oh, who are you fighting today? Katana? I just wanted to talk. I've come to give you some information. You're not supposed to be talking while you're fighting, guys. Come on, get with it. Not as many spectators for this one. Killer Beach. I'll give it that. Is this Thailand? You could just say, instead of to win the next fight, use the element that brings life. There were cryptic things that sounded philosophical in the games. You'd have screens show up, no knowledge is not power. Things would happen in the arcade. And I think that's why she has to talk all cryptic. Instead of just, in your next fight, throw water at Sub-Zero. Use the element which brings life. Yeah, if we want to get technical, lady, water's not on the periodic table. Oh, is she working with Raiden here? Because he brings the water that she hinted at. So what's the deal there? Does Katana lose the fight, but she doesn't get the your soul is mine treatment? That's ended on a little bit of a anticlimactic, wishy-washy manner, didn't it? You stand over there. I'm going to walk over here. Because this guy's showing up. And when you walk down the stairs, I want you to be making these fists with your hands. Yeah, there you go. Sub-Zero, not the tallest guy. You know, I don't think that they... Does Sub-Zero, Scorpion, do they wear long sleeves now? Because long sleeves doesn't seem as intimidating as much as check out all my muscles, does it? Damn, that was a nice flip. Got some great height on that. Now we're going to have a move that everybody thought was so cool. Yeah, the run up the wall, flip around. Liu Kang, he wants to be part of that acrobatic routine. So while he's running down the ramp, he'll jump half-heartedly, make a punch. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hadn't really dawned on me till seeing this in HD that you have sort of a frosted, ice-covered mask for Sub-Zero. I don't think that this gathering the ice effect is that bad, because when you have things happen in movies that are not based on reality, that are not things people have seen before, and they're CGI, you have a better chance of getting away with it. That's why I always complain about CGI helicopters. We know what helicopters look like, and they look like crap in movies. We've never seen ice balls form in somebody's hand before, so we don't know what the whole process looks like, and that's why you can give with this, right? Don't just simply throw the water. Yeah, make sure we have a cool dramatic toss. Oh no. Yeah, that's a pretty cool effect. The ice growing over them. That's all right. All right, we dispatched so many of them. Who's left? Guess it's gonna be you, Goro. We've let these humans win enough. Ha! At last. And then we have montage of people getting thrown on the rocks. Not my favorite thing to land on. See, Goro only fights in one location, guys. And when my finger points down, that's when I want you guys to open that giant door. There you go. Oh, poor Art. Sacrificed to Goro. And we have like Johnny Cage. It's like, I'm gonna give you some tips, alright? You seem like a cool guy. Goro, it's a lot of frustration out of Goro, and then we're not gonna have actual contact without a bunch of edits. See, it's always gonna get in tight. Oh, and then the real sinister thing, he can grab you with the two lower arms, pummel you with the two at the top. Honestly, Goro looks way better in this movie than he did in the original game. The original game, they used a lot of humans trying to pose in a room, and then they edit around them. Like, basically, you Photoshop out the... I don't think they actually used a green room. It's like, if you look at it, it's like a bunch of brown earth tone set. Like what one would see a typical photographer backdrop. Goro was a little miniature. So the smaller you get with the miniature, the detail lost. They learned some lessons. They got better cameras. Everything got bigger. Finish him as you say. What was Goro's finish move? I mean, come on. Okay, he gave him a hit over the head. I mean, it's not like it knocked his head off. Oh, Sonya Blade very invested in this guy's death now. Oh no, it's going to be soul taking. Maybe not a flawless victory. I saw Art get a couple of punches in on the arms. Yo, the soul goes into the eye. Oh, look, more big ass statues. Good question. Goro can be killed. Ah, it's like Predator again. If he bleeds, we can kill it. No matter how bizarre their powers may seem, there is always a way. Only one thing can defeat you: your own fear. You wax philosophy like this, and the teenager's like, whoa, yeah, this is deep. Whoa. You'll fight bravely enough, but foolishly. Okay. Way to go with the pep talk, Raiden. Sonya, you're afraid to admit even you sometimes need help. Now I'm gonna go smell your hair like Joe Biden. Oh, it's kind of Joe Biden looking. He's got well, from profile I can kind of see a Joe Biden appearance. Yeah. Wait, what about me? How am I gonna lose? Oh, you. I wasn't gonna talk about it, but yeah. The whole brother's death thing, I didn't really want to bring that up. Every mortal is responsible for his own destiny, chosen one destiny, this stuff, right? Use the fear he sees. Yeah, we gotta worry about our fears. How did Chan get into a fight with Shang Tsung in the first place? I mean, it wasn't during the tournament. Was there a tournament tryout period? Like you have to qualify? Poor Robin Shao's hair. Last I saw him, he ended up in a Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li. Actually, he's in another fighting game, fighting franchise movie attempt, Dead or Alive. He was a pirate in Dead or Alive. A movie which, did that have Eric Roberts in it? I think it did. I think Eric Roberts was the villain. That wasn't what I was talking about earlier when I said Eric Roberts fighting movie. What was it called? Like Only the Heroes? It wasn't Only the Strong. It was like it was a title like No Retreat, No Surrender, but not Best of the Best. That's what it was. Best of the Best. Yeah, Best of the Best gets trash all the time. Chris Penn, Eric Roberts, some guy. I thought it was actually pretty good. Hadn't seen in shoot 25 years, but then it becomes like an action franchise, like bullet flying everywhere. Sonny Landham gets involved. I'm gonna wear this same leather coat everywhere. I reserve the right to challenge the winner myself, or another of my choosing, in a place designated by me for the final battle of the tournament. If Goro's the champion, shouldn't the champion be the final guy in a way, or are they still working their way up the tournament ladder? We never saw how this was drawn out. It says the rules are quite clear. No, they're not. It's, how do you say, a deal's a deal? Johnny Cage, you're not supposed to be making these deals on the side. I made a choice. This is our tournament, remember? Mortal Kombat. Everybody involved is mortal. That must be the actual meaning. I think Goro gets a change of venue here. We're going topside for this. RAR. R-A, 3 R's, exclamation point. And what are your feelings on the voice of Goro? I mean, I'm a little indifferent to it. It's not awesome, but why show up with the sunglasses on? You know nothing good is going to come of those sunglasses. You're already snatching my sunglasses? Give me some time. Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole. Always the same rocks, though, we're throwing people into. $500 is still a lot for sunglasses. It's not an obscene amount. There are some stupidly priced sunglasses, but 500 is still more than I've paid for sunglasses. I have some really nice sunglasses too, but I mean, we're looking at 300-400. There was some CGI there on the iris for in Goro's eyes as they expanded that. It was quick enough; it probably didn't bother anybody. Now we have an Alabama man looking guy with the flannel cheering him on. Still alive in the tournament, are we? I mean, why else are you here? Oh, look at these two guys. Like, yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go, yeah, but then look at each other and go, yeah. They're more, crowd is so pumped here. This is WWF in the 90s. Attitude Era crowd. That's kind of a cool shot. I mean, not super realistic. I can deal with it. Got to play a little dirty here, a little hide and seek. See, Johnny Cage has the good lines in the movie. Made no contact with that kick to the head. You don't want to. You don't want to hit that. I would have liked a better fall, right there. Instead, it's like he walks towards the camera while the camera's zooming in. It's kind of dollying in, I suppose. Now we have the fall, and it. I don't know where he's falling to, because it looks like we're seeing what one would think is a bird's eye shot, but the way the clouds and the lightning appear, it's like he's falling out horizontally instead of down. My right to challenge. I challenge her. Why change the place? Why a change of venue? I mean, okay, it gives us a chance to go there. First Mortal Kombat game, I think most of the stages were Earth. In the second game, they move to Outer Realm, or what do we call it? I forgot. I think it's Outer Realm and Earth Realm, right? Really, she has to accept the challenge, or there can be no final combat. I have nothing further to teach you, Liu Kang. You learned all the rules. Outworld. God, how could I forget? Oh no, Reptile was listening. He's gonna go through too. Only, I guess he has another route. Raiden cannot pursue in Outworld for reasons. Though everybody tends to break rules in this movie and the sequel. We have some rules about this, but I'm changing. I'm going to issue a temporary tattoo pass. Little little stamp on their bus pass. Get them through. Where'd he take her? Probably to the top of this place. The bricks there were not the worst CGI. Oh no. Why would a skeleton still have eyeballs? Eyeballs dry up. Like, things happen to eyes. They're fragile. When you see zombie movies, zombies that have been zombified for a long period of time shouldn't have eyeballs. Something following us. There's nothing to see here, guys. You can't look at that and be like, oh, I could see it. Now you can, yeah. After he grabs Reptile. And then Reptile gets a little introduction of a voice sample from the arcade. Reptile. We had to shift morph that around. Honestly, that's not that bad. We don't have morphing in reality, but we know how skin works, and that's why the harpoon moving through the palm seemed weird. I think we just got two shots of Reptile jumping through that hole also. And we're getting our kicks in. There we go. Uh, Johnny Cage, you're free to jump in if you'd like. This isn't an official tournament fight. Oh, you know what? I forgot that they do have a pit in this movie at the end, but because some spikes rise up out of the floor, it's not tall enough. Um, it's not a bridge type thing that they're fighting on to fall into the pit, so it doesn't look like the pit. It's the pit in name only, or sort of as a, oh yeah, it's like the pit. Oh yeah, come on, you know how things work. You can't just go stand up and let them kick you. We get a little bit of bicycle kick action. Might have tried a little too hard with the ninja masks. Reptiles looks oversized. They get worse in the sequel. A little bit of a throw right there. think he finishes him with a full-on bicycle kick. Yeah, we're gonna do the flip here. Liu Kang really turned to the upper hand when he kind of spun around on the environment. Oh, the bicycle kick. So silly, but pleasing because it's in the game. Cheap transition. It kind of works. We'll just shift him back the statue, and then there we go. We have some CGI here. Crunch. Kind of Bruce Lee inspired. A little bit of that Bruce Lee anger stomp to death move, you know? Finally learning Liu Kang. Just realizing now it's Kitana instead of Katana. The sword is K-A. Now I have to look it up and see if it was like that in the arcade. Yeah, that's what I do. I second guess. He killed my parents and adopted me to lay claim to the throne. If you killed the parents, can't you just lay claim to the throne then? This place was beautiful, huh? In the Black Tower, you'll face 3 challenges. You must face your enemy. You must face yourself. You must face your worst fear. Yeah, we continue along with the cryptic stuff. A most extreme way to bring us into the set, you know? Yeah, I want to shot. It's like the Black Tower thing, yeah, but we're gonna spiral around it a whole lot, and then we have to zoom in on uh, randomly clothes changed Sonya Blade. We had to get her in a new outfit. I wanted something a little cave girl like. It doesn't look like she's going to be accepting the challenge from this position. Ah, yes, the Mortal Kombat dragon. The team over at, Midway? Was it Midway mostly behind the game originally? Boone and Tobias, they really struck a gold with that logo. Portals open to our great emperor, not our mediocre emperor. What the heck is she wearing? Some, it's a leather corset. Fight me in Mortal Kombat? Go to hell. It's kind of like, oh, you want to go on a date with me? You want to fight me in Mortal Kombat? If no one, if she doesn't accept the challenge, and they don't challenge, the tournament doesn't continue, and essentially Earth is saved, right? Oh, look, it's her outfit's kind of tied up on the side in the way that you saw Katana, Melina, Jade. I think was it by Mortal Kombat 3 where they had the ties on the side and the on the hips. No, you'll fight me instead. I didn't beat Goro, so why do what qualifies you? Shang Tsung very eager to get this tournament on the way. Kind of cool in a Star Wars like way how they mention the Emperor, but he's not popping in occasionally saying things. Yeah, you do get him at the end of the movie to show what we could be doing in the next film. Time to test your might. I think in the game, whenever you actually tested your might, it was to chop stones. Do they still have a bonus round like that in the Mortal Kombat games? Oh man, he is slow to get up from that right. Yeah, I'm bleeding. Can't much tell from the lighting, but yeah, now you kind of see it go down his mouth some. Why does that make him a fool? I don't know. Is he facing his 3 challenges now? The souls of 1,000 dead warriors are the source of his power. Frankly, it's not that fierce of power. Okay, so you could potentially look like the people you've killed. If you have a use for that, okay, you could rob a bank as a dead guy. All right, sure. Everybody comes shooting out of these manhole covers. That guy, if I wasn't, he looks so much like Dwayne Johnson as a relative of him. I could kind of see it. God, I don't even remember this happening. He just one hits each of these guys and they're done. Yeah, this guy here with the axe thing, he looks like a well, maybe he's a what Maori, New Zealand. One of them Islander types, Samoa. I don't know. Up and over. It's so easy to forget fights that don't involve characters from the game. All of this just a distraction for you to go up the stairs. Face yourself. Can he actually see into their souls? Or is it a bluff? A very odd shot having him run up the stairs in that way. Probably would have been better to follow him up the stairs. Chan, hey, it's you, and totally not a sorcerer's trick. You're not really Chan. I could punch you now, but... So you have to wonder now, is he... As he has the souls of these people, does he also have their memories? Or is it one of those, like, tricks? Like, I'm sensing a letter L. Oh, Lisa, remember when your parents died, you promised you'd always take care? Oh, yeah, okay, I guess, yeah. Sure, I probably said something like that. Whatever. Chan chose his own path. It's not every man is responsible for his own destiny, it's every mortal. Not a bad morph. Human to human morph. Quite possible at this point. You don't see a lot of things morphing into other stuff in movies anymore. Technique invented in Willow, which I haven't seen, but it's interesting that we saw a lot of morphing from the Power Rangers. Though they never morphed, did they? They would don armor. I am the chosen one. Fine, let's dance. I am the chosen one. Yeah. Thinking about that soundtrack. Used to listen to that soundtrack so much on tape. Yeah, I listened to it on cassette. What? The souls are leaving? Why? How did the souls just drift out of his face? They're uprising because he's taking physical damage and waking him in the mind? Maybe? I don't think Liu Kang is going to take a surrender. You want to get revenge for killing Chan. Yeah, stand in front of that light. It's gonna look cool. A little something. Yeah, there we go. I think the young people watching this are kind of like, you call that a fight? Hmm. So wait, the world didn't blow up 5 times during the fight? That can't be a real fight. And we're gonna finish him with a fireball, right? Yeah, we somewhat channel a fireball slash double punch to the torso. Not a flawless victory. Oh, now we got the 1,000 dead warrior souls leaving. This is the or does that not kick in until they come home? I think yeah, that's the case. But no, yeah, we got some of it here. Oh, shit. What is this? What? It plays in Mean Girls too. I'm trying to remember what it is. Let's stretch my legs. I knew you'd come. Yeah, once souls are free, you can kind of say goodbye. Spirit will always be with you. So what, do I have to live in your eyeball? We have this other guy's drifting around. I don't get to say goodbye to my loved ones. Oh, they're all dead already. Oh, okay. Cool. All the homeless drifter types sitting out there like, hey, if there was a light show at the tower, let's walk over. It's Alicia Soto and Bridget Wilson, the two women in this movie. Both 5'10". Yeah, the same song, and now it kind of kicks in more for this shot. The music video for this much less impressive. It's like a woman doing dishes. For this song, you're gonna be disappointed. That's why I think when people upload on YouTube, the videos that have all the views, it's like aerial shot, drone footage type stuff. Yeah, oh. What do we got here? The Emperor. The Emperor sounds a lot like the Shockmaster from WCW. Directed by Paul Anderson. Now he goes by W.S. Anderson. There's another Paul Anderson. It makes for a conflict with stuff. Liu Kang. Johnny Cage. Alright, guys, that is Mortal Kombat. Did you enjoy this movie? Do you too think it is one of the best video game based movies, or the best? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.